Picture this: Max Verstappen, the Dutch sensation, streaking down the Silverstone Straight in British racing green. Sounds wild, right? But hold on, this Aston Martin dream might be closer to reality than you think. Max's potential move could shake up the entire F1 grid, reshaping team dynamics and championship battles. We've got some juicy details about these hush-hush talks between Max and Aston Martin. Trust me, what we've uncovered will blow your mind. But I can't give it all away just yet. You'll have to stick around to hear the full story. It's a bombshell that could change everything in Formula One. You know that feeling when something's just not right? Like when you're in a relationship and things start to feel off? That's what's happening at Red Bull right now. It's weird to say because they've been on top for so long. But man, things are changing fast. Max Verstappen, the machine who's used to winning races like it's nothing, went for a long period without a win last season. That's not normal for Max. It's like watching LeBron go a whole quarter of the season without hitting 30 points. You start to wonder what's going on. The whole team's having issues. Adrian Newey, the genius who designs their cars, is leaving. This guy's like the Picasso of F1 cars. Losing him is huge for Red Bull's technical performance. Then there's all this drama with Christian Horner, the team boss. It's like the captain of the ship is in a storm, and the crew's not sure if he can steer them through. Jos Verstappen, Max's dad and former F1 driver, has always been Max's biggest supporter and mentor. When Jos starts talking about the team falling apart, you know it's serious. It's like your dad telling you your girlfriend might not be the one. You have to listen. Max himself has shown his loyalty to the team. He once said, "I've always said that I'm very happy where I am. And yeah, I hope we can do this for a very long time together." Remember when he threatened to leave if Helmut Marko got pushed out? That shows you how much the team environment matters to him. But now he's dealing with all this other stuff. It's got to be frustrating for him, trying to focus on racing when there's so much uncertainty around the team. And it's not like the other teams are making it easy for Red Bull. McLaren and Ferrari made big improvements last year. They're catching up fast. It's like Max is running a race, and suddenly the guys behind him found an extra gear. The pressure's on. So now Max has to think hard about his future. Can Red Bull get back on top, or is it time to look for something new? It's a tough call. It's like when you've been at a job for years and suddenly it's not feeling right anymore. Do you stick it out and try to fix things, or do you take a risk and start fresh somewhere else? This isn't just about choosing a team. It's about choosing the path for the rest of his career. But here's the thing that's got everyone talking. There might be another team that's ready to give Max everything he wants. A team that's hungry to win and willing to build everything around him. A team that could help Max write the next chapter of his legacy. Aston Martin's making some serious moves in Formula One, and they've got their sights set on Max Verstappen. It's not just talk. They're building something special. They've got this new factory at Silverstone that's like a racing wonderland. You can almost picture Max walking through it, his eyes lighting up at all the possibilities. It's not your average setup. We're talking state-of-the-art tech that could give Red Bull a run for their money. Lawrence Stroll, the team owner, he's not messing around. He wants championships, and he's willing to do whatever it takes. He's building the ultimate racing playground, and he wants Max to be the star of the show. Can you imagine Max Verstappen leading Aston Martin's F1 revolution? It sounds crazy, but it's not impossible. Here's where it gets really interesting. Aston Martin's got this deal with Honda starting in 2026. Now, if you know Max, you know he loves those Honda engines. It's like they're bringing in his old friends to make him feel at home. Smart move, right? They're offering him a whole package that feels familiar. But let's be real, Aston Martin's still got work to do. They're not top dogs yet. They've had trouble finishing races in good positions. So Max has got to be thinking, can they really give me a car that can win right away? It's a big risk, you know? But maybe that's exactly what Max needs right now. A new challenge, a chance to build something from the ground up. Imagine being offered the chance to create your own dream team. That's basically what Aston Martin is doing. They're saying, hey Max, come help us become champions. Mike Crack, the team principal at Aston Martin, he couldn't stop praising Max's fantastic performance. It's like they're already picturing him in their car, winning races, maybe even championships. But what does Max think about all this? Is he sitting at home, thinking about trading in that Red Bull for a sleek Aston Martin? The million-dollar question is, what's the one thing Max really wants that Aston Martin thinks they can offer him that Red Bull can't? Is it the chance to be the guy who turns a team into champions, or is it something else entirely? That's the mystery that's got everyone talking, and it's what makes this whole situation so exciting. In F1, contract clauses are like hidden switches in a fancy sports car. They look harmless, but flip one, and suddenly you're in a whole new gear. That's Max Verstappen's situation right now with Red Bull. Back in 2022, Max inked a massive deal with Red Bull. It was huge news. The contract's supposed to keep him with the team until 2028. That's an eternity in F1 terms. Most drivers hop teams every few years, but Max went all in with Red Bull. And why not? They were dominating the sport. These big contracts are worth serious money. We're talking hundreds of millions, the kind of cash that sets you up for life. But it's also the kind that can make walking away really tough. Now, you might think Max is locked in, no way out. But in F1, there's always a loophole if you know where to look. These contracts often have performance clauses, like an escape hatch. If the team doesn't meet certain standards, the driver can leave. Rumors are swirling that Max's contract has one of these clauses. Word is, if Red Bull isn't in the top 3 by mid-season, Max could walk. It's wild to think about. The dominant force in F1 potentially becoming a free agent. But even if Max can leave, should he? Red Bull's been good to him. They've given him championship-winning cars, supported him from day one. Walking away from that history, that's not an easy call. It's like a long-term relationship. Things might not be perfect, but you've got history. Do you work through the rough patch or take a risk on something new? That's Max's dilemma. Stick with Red Bull, the team that made him a champion, or gamble on a fresh start, maybe with Aston Martin. It's about more than just the fastest car now. It's about where Max sees his future, where he thinks he can achieve his dreams. Max always talks about needing good people around him. He says you need good guidance, and besides that, you always need to believe in yourself that you can be the best and that you can beat anyone out there. Maybe that's what he's after now, a team that believes in him as much as he believes in himself. This season isn't just about points and podiums. It's about Max's future, Red Bull's legacy, and the shape of F1 for years to come. Every race could be the one that decides if Max stays or goes. The pressure's on, and we're all watching to see how this plays out. Imagine you're Max Verstappen, standing at a crossroads. You've won everything with Red Bull, but now things are changing. The car's not as fast, there's drama in the team, and you're not winning like you used to. It feels like you're playing a video game with broken controls. You know you can win, but something's holding you back. Now, Aston Martin's calling, saying, "Max, come build something amazing with us." It's exciting, but risky. What if it doesn't work out? And here's the big thing. You're about to be a dad. That changes everything. Suddenly, you're not just thinking about what's fun, but what's best for your future and your family. It's like when you get your first real job and realize life's not just about having a good time anymore. But you're Max Verstappen. You've always said you don't care about records or driving for a specific team. You just want to win. Winning is great, you've said. Why would I not want to win when you have the opportunity to win? That's you. No fancy stuff. Just being the best. So now you've got this huge decision. Stick with Red Bull, your racing family, or take a chance with Aston Martin. It's not just about next year either. You're thinking long term. You've said you're closer to the end of your career than the beginning. Every move now shapes your legacy. And there's more. The 2026 rule changes are coming, and you're not sure about them. You've hinted that if racing stops being fun, you might walk away. As soon as that enjoyment drops, he's got the strength of character and personality to say, "Do you know what? I'm going to go and drive GTs next year." That's you being honest. Your decision could shake up the whole driver market. If you go to Aston Martin, they suddenly become a top team. If you stay at Red Bull, it shows you believe they can bounce back. Other drivers will be watching, waiting to see how the dominoes fall. Right now, you're focused on fixing things with Red Bull. I have other worries at the moment that I'm paying a lot of attention to. That's where our focus goes. It's like trying to patch things up with old friends before making new ones. Whatever you decide, it's going to change F1. This isn't just about switching teams, it's about the balance of power in the sport. It's about your legacy. Years from now, people might look back at this moment as the defining choice of your career. The race that matters most isn't on any circuit. It's the one you're facing right now, Max. Max Verstappen's at a crossroads, and his decision's going to shake up F1. It's not just about driving fast, it's about making tough choices. We've all faced moments where we've had to choose between comfort and potential greatness. That's what makes Max a real champion, how he handles these moments. Let's recap. Max's dominance, Red Bull's strengths, and Aston Martin's potential. Think about your own career. What would you do in Max's shoes? Whatever he decides, it'll be epic.